This is absolutely lit. This is lit.
Lovers, welcome. This is lit. This is Dark Times with Dark Match Steve. I am Dark Match Steve. That is what they call me. Oh, lovers, what are we getting into tonight? We got a quick one tonight. Guys, it's a very short edging session tonight. Might not even call it edging tonight. I'm not edging you guys. I'm just straight up tugging you hard till you. I'm trying to get you to, finish quick tonight. You okay with that? I'm working on a parody song for the Bubba the Love Sponge show. You may have heard of it. It's hosted by Bubba the Love Sponge. Anyway. I'm working on a little song for them, and I should have it done tonight as long as I don't fuck around. I'm not working on the fucking thing one more night, okay? Damn it, I'm getting it done tonight. But hopefully that'll get played soon this week, and fucking it should be good. And it's gonna be short. It's not a long one. It's going to be like 1 minute, 15 seconds. But, that's how Bubba likes them anyway. He likes them short and sweet. But yeah, guys, what's up? Let me get to the chat. I'm going to say hello to everybody getting in here. You guys are trickling in. And we're going to get to, I'm phoning it in a little bit tonight. We're stealing content tonight, guys. Who are we stealing from? Piers Morgan. Okay. No, that's our boy, Piers Morgan. You guys know we are friendly with Piers Morgan's show. His show has improved since since when he used to get bitch slapped by Alex Jones and Ben Shapiro. You guys remember that? Every Piers Morgan clip that would go around up until like 2-3 years ago, something like that. Up until like 2 years ago, every clip of Piers Morgan that went around was him getting bitch slapped by whatever guest he had on that he was interviewing. He was a little bit too stuck up and a little bit, I don't know. It just seemed like such a prude or something. And just but Piers Morgan show has been a lot better. Of course, now he is full MAGA. So we keep that in mind whenever we're watching him moderate a debate on anything related to politics. You kind of know which way he leans. And he moderates, a little bit slanted in that regard, but that's okay. The point is he has controversial guests on who have controversial debates and discussions. And, regardless of some people like Destiny, some people are very critical of Piers Morgan's moderating skills in regards to his political leaning and such. But, if you just take everything with a grain of salt, he has interesting conversations, which we appreciate over here. So we're going to break that down. It's Andrew Wilson on Piers Morgan's show, our guy, Andrew Wilson. We're going to count how many cigarettes he smokes. He might not smoke because he's on Piers Morgan's show, but every other debate we watch, we have a cigarette counter for Andrew Wilson. Famously on this stream, we watched Andrew Wilson debate Destiny over the January 6th insurrection or not on, what was it? It wasn't on whatever. It was on Myron Gaines' thing. Well, Fresh and Fit. They did this debate on Fresh and Fit. Andrew Wilson, that night, famously, we counted, he smoked like 18 fucking cigarettes. It was something crazy like that. And I don't even think we got through the Q&A. We only stayed for the actual debate. And we counted like 18 fucking cigarettes. That man is a goddamn human chimney, but we love him. We love him to death. And he anyway, Andrew Wilson is on Piers Morgan. They just went on there debating about I guess some aspects of feminism and transgenders in women's sports and women's spaces, this kind of thing. I have not watched it, so I don't know where it goes, but we know it gets spicy because Piers Morgan put a little spicy clip at the beginning of his video showing Andrew getting into it with this. So I know last Friday we covered a little bit of transgender debate topics with Destiny debating some fucking guy that he was arguing with on Twitter. It was kind of, it was very intellectual, but just like, I don't know, some of the concepts I was already just familiar with, a lot of the philosophy that goes into it. So it was just a little bit boring, and that's nothing against Destiny. I mean, he's having good conversations too, but that's just like something for, I like stuff where sparks fly and people call each other Nazi and stuff. That's what we like over here on the Dark Match Steve. I almost said Dark Match Steve show, but it's Dark Times with Dark Match Steve. That's the name of this. The Dark Match Steve show is the podcast that I do for Bubba the Love Sponge. Ladies and gentlemen, episode 3 has dropped. I'm going to remind you at the end of the stream tonight, but if you could at least, it's a good episode. I'm telling you guys, let me say, I mentioned it before, guys, the parody song. You remember this shit got stirred up with a parody song where, and I'll go ahead and say it because the episode dropped and I'm not spoiling anything. You got to go listen. We talk, and I'll get to you guys in a minute, so don't freak out. I'll just let me finish the intro here. Over the Line, the guys from Over the Line, 2 people messaged me saying, "Oh, these guys, didn't you do this one parody song about such and such?" And I was like, "Yeah, why?" And they're like, "Oh, well, the guys from Over the Line claim that they wrote that song and da-da-da. They said they did a parody song about the same." And I was like, "What?" And we got into that. Well, guys, I did some investigating, and I lay it all out on episode 3. Nobody spoil anything in chat, but if you have listened to it. But guys, you have to, if you have not listened to it, I know Bob Cook said he checked it out. Thank you, Bob Cook. You got to go listen to episode 3 because it's a wild ride, and it's a fun episode. I think it's a good time. It's not simulation theory and that kind of, we're getting too philosophical or whatever. It's just a bumpy yet fun ride. So go check that shit out. It's good. I'll remind you again at the end of the podcast. But anyway, I'm up in the chat. Can you feel me, chat? Stacy G's up in here. Bob Cook. Thank you guys for the support. Thank you guys so much. Dark Match Sneeze. Bro, it's funny you call me that because we've been doing different events and stuff at the flower shop I've been working at. And I think there's some flower or something. I don't think I'm sick because I've just had I've been sneezing and have a runny nose and everything, but I don't have any other symptoms like tired or fever or fucking anything. I'm just sneezing. And I can't tell if it's just my cats because I cleaned in my house a little bit too. I don't know what's going on, if it's the flowers or my cats or what, but I've been fucking sneezing, man. My allergies have been killing me. Dutch Duke is up in here. What's up? What's up? Thanks for joining us, Dutch Duke, lover. What's up, bro? Is anyone else as horny as Pat O'Brien? I don't think that's possible. Good question, though. Jeff Cron, what's up, Famalam? Who saw my video? I know Jeff Cron saw it. I actually sent it to him. Who saw my video keying the Tesla? Promo code Lummy's up in here. What's up, lover? How's it going? Let's go. Yeah, sorry I was late, guys. I got a lot going on. Touch me where I potty. Yep. That comes up in the new podcast. You got to go check it out. Rainy's up in here. DMS, did you hear yourself mentioned on the show today? No, I didn't. I've only listened from 6 to like 9:15. I need to catch up to the rest of the show. Why? Did I get brought up, Holyoke? Scott Starbird mentioned me getting brought up, but I didn't. He sounded like he wasn't sure if that happened today or if he listened to it last week, or I don't know. Because I brought up a clip of them talking about me from like a couple weeks ago. I wasn't sure if maybe Scott got confused. I don't know. Yeah, I was mentioned today. Was it towards the end of the show? Donald Ferguson's up in here. Holyoke Joe, you dick. Oh, there's Pat O'Brien. Love her. Holyoke, how his are you for Liv Morgan? Okay, you guys have fun talking about wrestling. Okay. Dark match. Do you rub yourself every day? Almost. I like to give myself a little break. Sometimes I'll take a night or two off. Also, I don't. There are some days when other people rub me for me, so I don't have to rub myself. Holyoke Joe, you son of a bitch. Everybody go listen to. Yeah, Holyoke Joe started some drama too. I don't want to delay it all. Nobody spoil it in the chat if you've listened to the new episode. But Holyoke Joe also got involved in some drama with me, and that gets brought up too. So yeah, you guys got to check it out. Jeff Cron, thank you, bro. I appreciate it. Pollen is high right now. I fucking bet. I feel it. A floral designer allergic to flowers. Yeah, I know, and I have 2 fucking cats. I'm allergic to cats too. I just like to I like to torture myself. I'm a glutton for, punishment, humiliation, all the rest. I'm rugged as hell? Is that what you think? Damn, Rainy. Rainy's up in here slinging houses and anyway. Get after it, Rainy. I bet you did. You sold like, what was that I saw on Facebook? You rung that bell twice, sold double the real estate or something. I forget what I saw. I just saw it like a few minutes ago. Fucking let me bring up my YouTube channel real quick. Yeah, if you guys haven't seen it yet, my dumbass. So yeah, I did a little bit of guerrilla marketing. Have you guys seen this yet? Let me bring you over to my YouTube channel. Let me get you on this tab. Here we've got my shorts. Damn, look at this. We got the squatting one. I love this one. God damn, we're going to get back to that, guys. We're going to get back to it. Oh! Get this out of my face. You're blocking the ass. No, I don't want to promote this short. Fucking idiot. Yeah, guys, I keyed a Tesla. Go check this video out. It's already got 1.5K views on the YouTube. Dark Match Steve here. I'm about to show you what we do to Teslas. Oh yeah. I'm not gonna play the full thing. Oh, thank you, Joe. I appreciate it. No, so yeah, guys, go watch this. Go watch go click on this video. Give it a thumbs up and a view. Fucking yeah, and did some guerrilla marketing. I made a little video with a Tesla. I may or may not have keyed it. But yeah, the funny thing is I said some stuff. Well, I'll play it. Who the fuck do I think I am? Just go watch it. This video is less than 60 seconds long. After I play this, please go watch it on my fucking channel. How do I get rid of this? No, I don't want. I clicked it. I don't want to promote it. Why is it still here? Look at this Nazi car. Where's the camera? Hey, I'm just kidding. Please, there's the camera there. Hey, my name's Dark Match Steve. Please come subscribe to my YouTube channel. I stream 5 nights a week. I like Elon Musk. He's I just awkward. It's just so awkward. I love how awkward this is. Oh fuck. Seems pretty cool. Okay. Nice car. Have a good day. We're getting new subscribers, 1 Tesla at a time. Dark Match Steve here. I'm about to show you what we do to Teslas. So yeah, I had gone shopping. I came out of Walmart and some fucking Tesla just pulled up right in front of me. They pulled up right in front of my car, and the funny thing is they're sort of parked out in the parking lot. I don't know if you can tell, but there's not a lot of cars around. And so I don't know if they parked like this because they want to be away from other cars just so maybe no one will fuck with it or something. You shouldn't have parked in front of me. No, but these people fucking got out of their Tesla and went in, and I was like, I'm gonna make a video. I always thought it would be so funny. I just thought the concept of just because people were keying these fucking Teslas and Cybertrucks and stuff, I just thought the concept of going up to a Tesla and just being in the camera, like menacingly shaking your keys, something about that is just so fucking funny to me. So I just like, what can I do? I was like, I'm going to shake my keys threateningly, and then I'll just promote my YouTube channel or so, you know. But someone pointed out, and I thought about this. I did think about this. I'm not completely stupid, but the cameras on the Teslas I don't think they have audio. So this person, if their camera sent them a notification and you know, I know if you touch the car, it records it and it tells them or something, but I don't know if it'll tell them just because I was that close in the camera or something. I don't know. But, you know, if they have no audio, then all they have is a video of me going up to their car and menacingly shaking my fucking keys like I'm going to fucking vandalize their shit. Oh, man. The thought of it is just so funny. I'm glad I actually did a video. I'll probably do a second video. People have been telling me, you got to make a sign. You got to have some kind of sign or something. But this is what I was thinking about all these different ideas for guerrilla marketing type of shit. Not that I'm really saying this. I'm not saying guerrilla marketing in my head. I'm just thinking of what would be fucking funny, you know? And I was thinking of stuff like how Bubba has the Bubba Army Ducks. And I was thinking of something like, if I, instead of a duck, what if I had like a key or something that was just shaped like a skeleton key, and but it said Dark Match Steve on it or something, and I put it under their windshield, and it's like, your Tesla's been keyed, but it's like a little foam key or something. I don't know. But anyway, that's what I was thinking about doing, making some kind of key type of thing. But yeah, this is funny. Anyway, let me get to, I'll drop this. But yeah, I got 1.5K views on that already. It's got a few, I don't think it's over 1,000 anywhere else, but YouTube spread it on. Fucking Natural Aspires in here. What's up? What's up? The key sound app upgrade? What are you talking about? Bro, I was giggling to myself so much thinking about just a video of me with those fucking glasses. I look obnoxious. Look at me. I look obnoxious in this video. And then I'm just shaking my keys in their fucking camera. Oh, fuck, man. Oh, damn it. I didn't mean to X out of that. Let me bring that back up. Okay. So we are getting into the debate right now with Andrew Wilson. Let me, sorry, guys. I dropped that tab like a fool. Can't be on super late. We're going to get this parody song done tonight, guys. I got to cook and stuff too. So let's check this out. This looks like it's going to be fun, though, this Andrew Wilson debate. Here, let me drop this just so you guys can't see everything I've been watching, all the gay stuff I watch on YouTube.
Seriously.
Okay. Seriously. Ew. Ew. Don't you hate when the feminists look like this? Fuck, man.
Well, this is going to go viral, and a lot of people are going to take me seriously. And all.
Okay, hold on. Let's start See, that's as far as I got in the video. You saw that? That's where I got my thumbnail. I have not watched this, so we're watching this fresh together. Oh, God. Don't you wish this was the feminists? For some reason, it seems like it's easy to tell which women are the feminists in this video. I've got spaghetti to make. Rainey, you know me too well. Oh, that was nice.
You're just
it's
a
not,
shock
it's
jock,
not
mate.
psychic ability.
You're just pathetic.
A shock jock? What the fuck year does this lady think? Is that not, can I say, like, what, shock jock? Do we really, is that just a term you use for anybody that's a streamer and has controversial positions? Or is this lady fucking stupid thinking that Andrew Wilson is some radio host? This lady thinks people still listen to the radio besides the Bubba the Love Sponge show.
Nobody's going to listen to you. You're
Randy,
an aggressive,
an
insecure man.
I'm going to tell you what's going to happen.
We're not taking
this is
you
going to go
seriously.
Well, this is going to go viral, and a lot of people are going to take me seriously, and all they're going to remember is that I told you that you couldn't put down the Dunkin' Donuts long enough to make an argument.
Okay. Oh, fuck.
Fairly stupid.
I told you guys, we're not doing an edging session tonight. This is an angry Handy J, and you guys are gonna finish quick.
And everything that's being said is just like a comedy show.
You think you can change your sex? How can you ever call anybody stupid?
John Oliver stirred controversy this week by hosting.
Is that lady's mic gonna sound that shitty the whole time? I'm sorry, you're just gonna raw dog your fucking laptop like that? Holy fuck, man.
A special on what he calls a right-wing obsession.
You're going on Piers Morgan. Guys, if I was going on Piers Morgan, I would go get a new microphone and a new camera. I mean, what this woman must not think highly of herself you're going on Piers Morgan and you're going to use the fucking camera that is the fucking laptop camera and microphone, the internal microphone and camera that looks like fucking dog shit.
With trans athletes in women's sport. He took aim at Fox News for this.
Looks like Piers Morgan is using a shitty mic too. I don't know what's going on with this episode. Something's off. He must.
What is almost comically ironic, of course, is that Mr. Oliver was himself dedicating a large chunk of his once-a-week show to talking about the same issue.
Oof.
Well, J.K. Rowling told him to read The Effing Room and shared a post which slammed his 45-minute special for claiming there's basically no advantage for male athletes and that men almost never beat women. On that same night, the UK Women's Pool Championship final was contested by two people who were born as men, not women. So who is obsessed and who is right? Well, we'll debate that, and we'll debate this too.
A lot of these men, these podcast hosts on the right that like to think of themselves as these big masculine men, and what am I getting out of it? I can tell you this.
There's that feminism.
All right, I believe I'm a woman of virtue,
coming
right?
out.
Yeah, there's the feminism. Oh,
I'm sorry. Did you want to speak over a man?
Yeah, I don't.
Inside of society, right this second, right? Masculinity is not only punished, but also women on the right.
Oh my God, is that a feminist? That hot blonde chick? I refuse to believe it.
Covert feminists on the right are constantly and consistently talking about how they need to have privilege in society. Their version of masculinity is men who take care of us, men who protect us, men who do all of this. Those are all duties that men have towards women. Great. What are the duties that women have towards men?
Well, that became a breakout moment from our adolescence debate and Andrew Wilson's chilling warning, of course, about the dangers of covert feminism.
God, I guess we missed that debate. I didn't see that one. That must have been last week, I guess, probably.
Feminism. Well, we have a panel of feminists, covert and otherwise, to debate. The co-founder of Justice for Women and author of Lesbian, Where Are We Now?, Julie Bindel, the trans rights advocate, Stacia Underwood, the sports journalist and political commentator, Emily Austin, and the host of The Crucible, Andrew Wilson. Well, welcome to all of you.
Woo, 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 woo! Andrew!
Julie Bindel, let me start with you with this whole issue of trans athletes in women's sport. I've been talking about this as you have for...
Dark Match Gene, would you confront Piers Morgan for being a gun-grabbing British redcoat, bro? I think he's changed his stance on that. I don't know if he's explicitly, if he's expressed that. Yeah, I fucking love Andrew Wilson. He's a savage. I don't know if he has expressed that, but I'm pretty sure if you pressed him on that, he's changed his mind. Now he's like, he's MAGA all day. DMS, I signed up for Sniffy's app. Oh, is that that's from Bubba's show today. Fucking, that was funny, man. That was fucking weird. Oh, guys, that story. That is crazy, man. That story that Bubba was talking about, that Holyoke Joe just referenced. Sniffies is some kind of gay app thing where it started off that guys could send each other their used underwear and stuff to sniff, something completely fucked up and disgusting like that. But the reason this app got brought up is because of this story that apparently something happened where someone set someone else up to get Riz aped. You know what I'm saying? Riz aped. That story Bubba talked about, where it was something along the lines of a guy set up some other guy to do a home invasion Riz ape thing on a woman. And the guy that did the Riz ape, the assault, that guy was under the impression that the woman wanted it. But this other guy had like set this up on this website. I think he presented it as if the woman was wanting, it was a Riz Ape fantasy type of thing. And this other guy set it up. The one guy set it up on the website, making the Riz Aper think that the woman was consensually getting a Riz Ape fantasy type of thing, but really she wasn't in on it, and she was just getting Riz Aped without the fantasy. This exact thing, if I'm explaining it properly, and I'm sure I fucked it up a little bit because I'm an idiot, but that exact situation was on a TV show. They got whatever this person, whoever did this, got the idea from like Law and Order or a TV show or something, or this has happened before, and that's why Law and Order talked about it. And I guess it's something that happens. But I remember seeing this on TV. This guy broke into this woman's house and, forced himself upon her. And then later it turned out the guy was under the impression that the woman wanted it because of some back and forth on some website, but it turned out it wasn't the woman telling the guy, oh yeah, come over, you can break in through my living room window, and then I'll be laying asleep on the couch and just take me. But really it was someone else typing that, and the woman didn't know. And so she got assaulted. This was a thing from fucking Law and Order or something, which is, I don't know. That's crazy if that's really someone got that idea from TV. That's fucked up. All right, let's get into this.
Many years, and we've reached a point where the current president of the United States has basically announced a total ban on any trans athletes competing in women's sport, including the upcoming global events happening in the United States, which is great. But it seems to me utterly astonishing.
If Trump bans trans people in women's sports, I will never be a champion. We got to get him to reverse that.
That we have John Oliver, who's a fellow Brit, who is on American television and for 45 minutes seriously trying to argue that people who are born biological males have no advantage over biological females when it comes to sport. Mm-hmm. How can this still be happening?
It's utterly ludicrous.
Look at these two. These two women think that they can run as fast as a man. Love to see that.
Either we have women's sports or we don't. Either we recognize that sports are segregated for good reason, or we don't, and we put everybody in together and then see what happens, which is like the bad old days when girls and women wouldn't come forward to compete, or they wouldn't join tournaments. Even if you look at something like poker, which Oliver was joking about, how can this be an issue? How can poker even be discriminatory? There's no strength involved. But the sexist environment of poker tournaments and what men would call joking and teasing and the like put many women off competing.
Look at Andrew Wilson's face already. He has a face that looks like someone walked into his studio and took a shit right in front of him. And really, that's not what happened. He's reacting to this woman's voice.
And so let's just see what happens if we then decide that there should be no...
Did we start the cigarette counter? Sorry, guys. I keep starting and stopping. Andrew Wilson, we got to watch him, see how many cigarettes he smokes during this. This is only 50 minutes long.
Single-sex sports and that women's sports were ridiculous to start with, because that's what he's arguing.
Yeah. Stasia, look,
Hold on. We're going to back this up just a little bit. Just so we're... Oh, he is smoking. Look, we got one cigarette lit so far, guys. Put that down. I need a pin. One cigarette.
Poker, which Oliver was joking about. How can this be an issue? How can poker even be discriminatory? There's no strength involved.
Natural Aspired said, I can smell her from here. Yeah, ironically, Andrew Wilson is making a face like he smells shit. Really, he's just reacting to this woman's arguments. But ironically, he would probably be making that face if he was in the same room as her, because she actually stinks.
But the sexist environment of poker tournaments and what men would call joking and teasing and the like put many women off competing. And so let's just see what happens if we then decide that there should be no single-sex sports and that women's sports were ridiculous to start with, because that's what he's arguing.
Yeah, Stasia, look, as I've repeatedly made clear about my own position, which often gets completely misconstrued, as I think does Julie's, as I think does J.K. Rowling and everybody else. My position is that I absolutely respect people who are trans. I respect people who are trans' rights to fairness and equality and safety. I want trans people to have the same fairness, equality, and safety that I enjoy, or that my daughter enjoys, for example. So let's be clear about that. Nothing that I'm about to say is what some people try and frame it as transphobic, right? I'm not remotely transphobic. I am fully supportive of trans people's rights to lead the same life as the rest of us. However, and it's a big however.
Guys, don't mind me if I smoke a bowl here, okay? It's gas station weed. It's completely legal.
When it erodes, when the battle for trans rights to fairness, equality in particular, but also safety, when that erodes clearly women's rights to fairness and equality and safety, I have a big problem with that. And no place is this more glaring than in the sporting arena, where you see time and again now biological men who identify as trans, who were pretty unsuccessful competing against other biological men, and suddenly they're winning against women or taking Olympic places from women, et cetera, et cetera. And I think the UN came up with nearly 900. I mean, John Oliver tried to ridicule this, but nearly 900 medals around the world, I think in the last year, went to trans athletes in women's sport. This cannot be right. It's not fair. It's not equal. As we saw in the Paris Olympics, in the boxing ring, where you had boxers competing who were banned from the World Championships because they had reportedly male chromosomes, and you had women boxers quitting after 40 seconds because they'd never been hit so hard, genuinely fearing they might get killed in the ring. When it comes to this, we are now reaching, to me, not just an unfair and unequal place in this debate, but a dangerous place in this debate. What do you say to that?
Who would have thought the easiest way to get rid of women's sports was just to have men wear wigs and compete in women's sports, and then we could get rid of it?
I think it's difficult. I think that there's a lot of emphasis being put on trans people in sports specifically.
I'm pretty sure she was looking at a fucking Carrabba's menu online or something. She's ordering Uber Eats. I don't think she was listening to that whole everything Piers Morgan just said.
I made it very clear, like, I am not here to spit facts or spew anything in terms of like statistics or anything like that. I have my lived experience as a trans person. I feel that there's so much attention being put onto this specific subject because what you guys really want underlying is the eradication of trans people and them to not be involved in any system.
No, you see there, look, look,
that is the dumbest argument I've ever heard in my life.
Right, it's ludicrous. Where have you got that from? Where's anything I have ever said?
To speak out for others.
I'm more so referring to
honestly.
I have seen certain things that you said in other interviews, Piers, with like my friend Wassam and other trans individuals. Yeah. I just feel that the emphasis that is being put
on. And what was transphobic? What have I ever said that could be remotely construed as transphobic or trans hating or wanting to get rid of trans people? Ever? I challenge you right now. Tell me.
I haven't really directed that at you just from sitting here. I more so am just here to say that I feel that the issue that's being pressed is because it's a...
You just directed it at him. What are you talking? You lit.
What the fuck? This person is fucking stupid. Oh my God.
Did it at him.
You know what? That was a shitty joke, but guys, am I wrong? Was she looking at some menu online? The answer she gave responding to Piers is just like a bullshit answer. She called Piers out for being transphobic and wanting trans people to not exist. And then when they ask her for an example, she's like, oh, well, you know, I wasn't really directing that at you exactly. When I said you're transphobic and you've said other things in other interviews that's transphobic, I wasn't like calling you out when I said that. I was just, you know.
I think that the issue that is being put on trans athletes is a way to eradicate trans people.
Pat O'Brien, no, you son of a bitch. What is this, your third time asking this question? DMS, when you were younger, did you ever sniff your seat after farting? No. Why the fuck would I do that? Bro. Normally, if I fart, they aren't that stinky. Normally, my farts are good because my diet's really nice. But why would I need to sniff the seat after I fart if I'm marinating in my fart? I can smell it already.
This is, with respect, this
Piers,
is
can I interject for a moment?
In the 1960s and 70s, when feminists that came before me set up women's shelters, rape crisis centers, hospital wards, prison wings for women, recognizing that some men, not all, but a sizable minority, are a threat to women because sexual violence and harassment is a threat. We weren't told by men, not all of them were pleased, but largely they understood. We weren't told by men, you're trying to erase and eradicate men. The vast majority of men understood why we needed to do this. All we're doing is saying men, and you can call them trans women if you like, but men have no place in women's prisons, domestic violence shelters, and sports.
Well, wait a second. Hang on.
Okay, Emily, you wanted to... yeah, Andrew, I'm going to come to you. Andrew, I'll come to you one moment. Just let Emily jump in on what you're about to say, I think, to Stasia. Making America healthy again is all the rage, and many people are inspired to put their fitness first again. That's why...
Cool, we got an ad. Dark Match Gene asks, what about someone else's seat? No, that's disgusting. Smell someone else's seat after they farted? I do eat ass, though. Oh, he stole your question? Oh, you gotta be quick, Scott. Guys, forgive me. I've got a cat at my door. What's going on out here? You need to go outside? What's the deal? Oh my God. That's a cat life for you. Interrupting streams. There's a cat tunnel outside my door. I'll explain later.
Well, I'm excited to be working with Donna Matilda.
Oh God, we're still in an ad. What is this? Silver? Buy silver.
If you're new to all this, the Get Jacked Up program offers...
Oh, Get Jacked Up. Promo code Piers for 10% off. Go get jacked, guys. I jack you off for free in this stream. You can get free jacking off.
I just think it's so infuriating because ultimately, I know many trans people and I've spoken to them about, playing in women's sports, etc. And the biggest issue they face is that they just want to be accepted. Now, if I was a trans woman and I just wanted to be accepted, I'm going to do the exact opposite of what you're doing. You want to paint all of these labels on you. You want to play identity politics. You want to play the victim, but you want it to be treated as if you're any superior. That's not equality. You receiving special treatment that does not make you equal, but makes you superior to others is not looking to be included. It's actually making people detest your...
We've got cigarette number 2. Cigarette number 2, Andrew Wilson. It's a 50-minute debate, guys, and he has to smoke how many cigarettes? We'll find out. I am really keeping count here. That's cigarette number 2. You saw it, right?
To be included.
There you go. That's a fresh one. That's a brand new one.
It's actually making people detest your cause. It's making people think that you are a moron. And the way that you're trying to represent the trans community as a whole by just denying that there's a threat and being delusional about it is not helping the trans people. You're making people look at you from the outside and say, wow, they are out of touch with reality.
I think that the verbiage that you use in this statement is very clear on where you stand on trans issues. I'm going to go back to my original point. You guys trying to take out trans people from sports is a way to eradicate trans people from public.
But we're not. We're trying
Nobody
to
has said
eradicate
anything.
lunatics like
Nobody
yourself.
stats here. Stats here.
What's your
Nobody.
Bitch, you can't talk over anybody. You have the worst mic. You are raw dogging your laptop. You have no fucking microphone. You can't talk over anyone in this debate. You better be cordial. K-Dog's up in here. What's up? Hell yeah, Andrew Wilson. That's our boy. He's always lively. His debates are always fun. Oh, Andrew, another one out the pack. Another one bites the dust. What was I gonna say? Yeah, this chick is this bitch is very sloppy. Sorry guys. My testicles were getting sat on by me. Yeah, this woman is pretty obnoxious. She's being conveniently vague with a bunch of shit. Oh, well, you don't have to tell me your position on trans people. I can tell what it is just by the way you speak and the verbiage. And it's like, okay, quote the transphobic part for me, pretty please.
He has said that. And this is what happens, if you don't mind me saying, what happens, the way that trans activists let themselves down, in my opinion, and you can respond to this, is that you try and shut down perfectly legitimate, in fact, urgently important debate by saying that anyone who dares to question this is transphobic and wants to get rid of trans people. I don't think anyone so far on this panel has said they want to get rid of trans people or anything like it. And yet you keep saying you people all want to get rid of trans people. Why do you believe that? Where have you got that from? You cite my interviews with some of your friends, but where have I said anything remotely that could be construed as transphobic? I don't get it.
I think the verbiage that was being used, it's very clear you guys stand on all trans issues.
What do you mean?
The verbiage. This fucking idiot. He should just turn her fucking camera off. Take her out of this debate. She is not contributing anything. This person is stupid.
What do you mean?
So what is the solution for the trans people that are playing sports? What's the solution for them? We're just supposed to kick them out all entirely?
Let me give you the solution. Let me give you the solution.
Andrew Wilson says yes, kick them out. Andrew Wilson says execute them.
It's very straightforward. Almost all of them competed against biological men like themselves before, but they did it far less successfully. So you either go back, trans women athletes either compete against their biological sex, or you create an entirely new category for trans athletes. What you don't do is allow them to destroy the integrity of women's sport, which is what is happening. So it's very straightforward.
Bomb going off in her head. She's got screws and springs going. Like,
how you solve it. I don't want trans people to be banned from playing sport.
Look at this fucking, look at her face, man. She's just like, oh, wow, that does make sense. Oh.
I want them to be banned, like I did with the dopers when they were cheating in sport. I want them to be banned from utilizing an unfair advantage. It's simple as that.
You said you don't want trans women in sports. That means you want us dead? You want us all fucking dead? No. You can still play sports. You just have to have your own category. Oh. I hadn't thought about that.
I think.
Can I ask her a question? Would you think it's fair if Novak Djokovic?
I like when she looks up when she's thinking, and I feel it's like she's looking inside of her empty fucking skull. I like that. She's looking up there for answers, and there's just nothing.
Djokovic identified as a woman and then played Serena Williams in a tennis set. Do you think that would be fair to Serena Williams, who worked her whole life to become a star tennis player, just to get swept by Novak, who's the #1 men's tennis player? I just want to know if you think that that's fair.
The verbiage you're using tells me that you want to kill all trans people.
But I just think that their question is ridiculous because
Why is it ridiculous?
That's not ridiculous at all.
I see how it's trying to be framed. I'm gonna keep going back to my original point. Your guys' excessive attention on wanting to remove trans people from sports and have them play in their biological sex, which makes no sense because even in John Oliver's interview,
or in their own category,
in the category that would make sense.
Or in their own category.
Well, there's not enough of them to create a category. Like the percentile is so small.
Oh, we'll be there soon enough. You guys are paying for trans kids surgery and stuff all the time. I mean, there'll be plenty more trans kids. Don't worry.
There actually are an increasingly large number of trans athletes around the world.
See, I was right.
Oh, actually, that's not true. Andrew, you've been waiting very patiently. Thank you. This seems to me, this whole debate so far highlights the way this debate has been framed now for years, which is that any attempt to question what is obviously grotesquely unfair and unequal.
Can I say too, I just like, I don't want to sound like I'm just being like I'm trying to be shocking or cruel or blunt or something, but it's like, if you're a trans person, and I have sympathy for trans people, even though I do think a lot of them, how do I explain this? I think we've talked about this on here a bunch, guys. I think some of the trans stuff actually stems from different stimuli in our environment, be it cultural, genetic, and or chemical, pharmaceutical. There's all kinds of stimuli in our environment that may or may not lead to this type of thing. This is my theory on the whole thing. I mean, there may be actually some people that genetically or something they find out, oh, well, this person's would be trans either way. But anyway, all of that aside, I do have sympathy for trans people, but is it really, like, guys, life isn't fair, right? I'm 5'7". I'm not trying to bully or, fucking cancel culture my way into being in the NBA. I just accept that that's not a reality for me, and I move on. I do my own thing. I write my parody songs. I do my stream, and all the other bullshit I do in life. If you're a trans person, and even if we decided in society, we just try to be as fair as possible, but that would mean that maybe you can't play in the Olympics as a trans person. Is that the end of the world? Is that a make or break deal for trans people? Is it really? Like, I just the sports thing just blows my fucking mind. I really the way people are so hung up on this. Maybe, I mean, this might just sound too cruel or something. I'm not saying trans people shouldn't be allowed to play sports at all, but why are we worried about them going to the fucking Olympics? I'm sorry, you think you were born in the wrong body, you feel like you're born the wrong gender, whatever. We don't have to debate that. I'm glad I don't feel that way, and I do have sympathy for people that do genuinely feel that way, okay? But is it really the rest of society's problem that we have to do math? We have to do it's to figure out some way to get you into the Olympics as a trans person. You can't just accept that some people are going to try to treat you fairly in the world, and oops, you can't go to the Olympics. Is that really that fucked up, or am I crazy? Everybody should be allowed to go to the Olympics, huh? Funny Face, what's up, Famalam? Let trans people go in the Special Olympics.
Equal and indeed unsafe is branded transphobic, even when there's no evidence to suggest that the people saying it are transphobic.
Well, it's not just that. I mean, basically everybody in this panel is wrong. So to start with, this person says, well, the thing is you just want to erase transgender people altogether, Pierce, and then says, I wasn't saying that, Pierce. I wasn't saying that you want to erase trans people, not you specifically, when clearly that's what you were saying. At least get behind the statements that you're making. The TERF starts out by saying, well, I've been here reinforcing women's rights this entire time, right? And then the TERF says, right on top of that, but poker's very misogynistic. She can't wait to dunk on men. Very first thing she does is dunk on men in order to somehow elevate women. right? You're all insane. The truth is that the only reason that this happens to begin with is because women vote for it. They vote for it. They vote blue. They vote left. They vote in the same politicians who get behind all of this stuff. You're the deciding vote, right? And you have empowered women to do
Very
that
true.
as much as possible
Very
for the
true.
political process to do that. All of you are responsible for this. Every last one of you.
Really glad that you're so
I believe
perfect.
well.
Trump.
Yeah.
Leave me out of this one. I'm good.
Well, we'll see. when
Well,
we
that's
get
what
it.
Andrew kept saying. All of you. Do you include Emily, Andrew, or not?
Well, I just assumed it. I just assumed it. But this is the truth. The truth is, we begin with these crazy ideas, right? Under patriarchal rule, under men, this would never have happened, right? If you look at how men vote, they vote against this nonsense. And it's fathers who are on the front lines against it. It's women who are trying to transition the children, not men. Give me a case example of where male fathers are trying to transition their kids. It doesn't exist. It's a female-only phenomenon. Literally a
That's
female-only
insane.
phenomenon.
Wow, that actually, I hadn't even thought about that directly. That consciously, I hadn't really thought that out, but that makes sense. That makes sense. The trans Olympics, yeah. But even if that's the thing, Natural Aspired, even if they did the trans Olympics, I don't even think that there's, I mean, I think that's a valid point at this moment. Is there really enough trans people to, I mean, I guess there are, what did they say? How many, was it 70 or 90? They said some people got titles or trophies or some shit that women, it was trans women got it in place of biological women. I mean, if it's that many, there has to be, I'm almost convinced now, there probably is enough. Even if some of them really fucking suck, there has got to be plenty of fucking trans athletes that they could, even if they don't have as many. Man, I don't fucking know. How many categories would it be? I wonder how, man, there actually might, I guess if you really spread it out amongst all the fucking sports, there would probably only be a few sports that they would have enough competitors in to actually consider it a competition.
That is insane.
Yeah, show me one male father who's fighting in the courts to transition their son to a girl.
Actually,
It was 900. He said 900. Even with that, though, man, I don't know. I'm just thinking about fucking shot put, everything, all the obscure sports. There probably wouldn't be enough people in the obscure sports, right? Because look at the fencing one. The fencing example that they brought up. That was one trans person in the female, like a trans woman competing in the female fencing deal. How many fucking trans fencing people are there? Fat Pig's up in here. What's up, Fat Pig?
I made a podcast
I
series
see men on
about this.
TikTok that are diseased.
I interviewed quite a few fathers
Go
that
ahead.
are pushing for this. But the point is that this is something that benefits men, and it's men that are the ones that are saying they're women. They are all of a sudden the oppressed, and feminists like me are the oppressor, and that they're too weak and pathetic to fight and play against other men. And what do? They come and beat up on women.
Do you vote left, ma'am?
I don't know what vote left means.
Do you vote for the left-wing party of your
Do you
nation?
vote for Democrats?
Do you vote for what would be considered
British,
the Democrats of your nation?
No, I wouldn't have voted for the Democrats. I would not have voted for the disgrace of that party. And I also wouldn't have voted for Trump. But the point is,
if we look,
I believe in,
let me finish.
we live in a different,
very quickly.
We live in a different context.
What I'm
here.
saying to you is this: it's very simple. If you look at the voting patterns of women in both the UK and the United States, they're usually the deciding vote when it comes to degeneracy. That includes it includes on the trans issue. So here you are. It's the very thing that you push for empowerment of women that is now causing your very problem. You have to now convince women. Men are already there. Men have already said, nope, we don't want this. We never wanted it. It's garbage.
To be women.
Yeah, apart from the women who are claiming to be men, which now it's almost equalized. Remember that part? right? This phenomenon, though, is categorically rejected by men and reinforced by women. And turfs like you did everything that you could possibly do in order to push that. You did everything you could do to push that. And now you get to reap the whirlwind. So I don't care if women in their sports teams are getting their teeth kicked in. I don't care. Reap what you sow. As you sow, so shall you reap. And you get exactly what you deserve.
You seem like a lovely person.
I'm sorry that you have to deal with the consequences of your own actions.
Piers Morgan Uncensored is now proudly independent. If you like the show, we ask only one thing. Subscribe on YouTube and follow Piers Morgan Uncensored on Spotify. And
subscribe. Everybody look, subscribe. I'm already subscribed. You got to subscribe. Hit the like button on his stuff too.
Apple Podcasts. Now let's get straight to the point. Support for today's show comes from a business focused on a critical issue. Prosperity. U.S. national debt is at crisis levels.
Where we go? Buy silver?
Inflation has made life more expensive for everybody, and the stock market is precarious. It's not 74.
Buy silver from this person. 866-692-2474 for the really good silver, good prices. Piers is going to hook you up. Go to text Piers to 65532 for some free silver or something. I don't know what's going to get silver.
Or text Piers to 65532. All the details are in the description. Now on with the show. On the subject, because Andrew made a lot of news on social media with his debate with Tomi Lahren last week after accusing her of being a covert feminist. Let's remind people of that clip which went viral.
Most men are born to be...
Oh, we've got another cigarette. We got cigarette number 3. Hold on. Right after the silver commercial, he tried to sneak it in. Look at him. Here we go, guys.
News on social media with his debate with Tomi Lahren last week after accusing her of being a...
That's a freshie.
Covert feminist. Let's remind...
Cigarette number 3. I need cigarette emojis in the chat. Stat.
People of that clip which went viral.
Most men are born to be protectors and providers. I can't imagine my dad saying, you know what, to my mom, you know what, I'm not going to be a protector and a provider unless you do this. That's not how real men operate. Real men are protectors and providers, and they marry women who hopefully have some virtues, but also bring a lot to the table as well, that are great mothers, great wives, caretakers of the home. There's nothing wrong with being a traditional wife and mother.
So, Emily, where do you sit? Are you a covert feminist like Tomi? Did you agree with Andrew's assessment?
I'm not a covert feminist. I am very outwardly, the word feminism has been hijacked by like the woke left who uses it as an excuse for psychotic women and liberals to scream on the streets, we want equal rights when we have equal rights. I'm more so an empowered woman who encourages other women to, be independent, work hard, chase your dreams. And that doesn't come at the expense of being feminine. It doesn't come at the expense of now as a feminist, you need to eradicate all men. I don't think everything is so black or white. Listening to that debate, they spoke a bit about gender roles. And here's my take on that. If you're going to have gender role expectations for your man, that's a personal choice. Emily Austin has high expectations of her man. He has to be working hard. He should be successful. He should, pay attention to how I feel. Like there should be certain gender roles. He has to provide for the family, not solely, but he should be providing for his family. These are gender roles. As a woman, I learned how to cook. I know how to clean. My grandmother always tells me, my mother tells me, Emily, you're going to be a good wife. You're going to be loyal. You're going to be supportive. You're going to act like a lady. Now, there's many women who don't want to play that into the gender roles, which is fine. But then don't expect your man to go out and become masculine. I think it's equal. Like set the expectation and then date people who meet your expectation. But in terms of covert feminism, first of all, it's such a silly term. Either you support women or you don't. And I'm not talking about the trans argument right now.
Not only is it not a silly term, it is true that most of the political pundit women on the right are covert feminists. And I'll just ask you the same exact question I asked Tommy.
Because the word feminism
got
hijacked.
Let me finish the question.
problem.
Let me finish the question. No, I'm talking about all the way back to first wave feminism. Okay, you are feminists, and I'll explain by asking you the same question. If it is men's duty in society to procure, refine, protect resources, which then women and children are the primary beneficiaries of, which they are. What societal duty, which is...
Oh shit, she's breathing heavy. Look at her. She's freaking out a little bit. She was like, damn, I thought Andrew Wilson and I were going to get along really well here. And now he's taking me to task.
Equal to that do women have? What is it?
Women, we're going to have children. Men will never understand the burden of carrying a child.
So you have a duty to reproduce?
I expect women to be able to cook and clean.
Wait, so you have
women
have a duty to reproduce?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. So that's
Absolutely
the one duty that's on par. Great. So that's one duty that's on par with that. I totally agree. Are they? Or is it the case that in every single nation in the West, we are under reproductive rates in every single one of them? In every single nation in the West, we are lower than where we need to be for reproduction. So it seems that men are fulfilling their social duty and women are not. And the problem with the right is that the right doesn't ever address this, and right-wing females never address this. Instead, they say it's equal. Work and motherhood are equal. They're not equal. Not only are they not equal, but let me give you another example here. As you dive into this, try to understand that what you do is you actually hamstring women by telling women they should go and be girl boss babes and go to college starting in their 20s. They actually destroy their prime reproductive years. They destroy them by having families later. It's the primary cause.
Okay, that's silly. I'm 23.
Hang on, listen.
It's
the primary cause for the reproduction crisis. It's the primary cause of the reproduction crisis in the West, is that with women defer families till they're in their 30s. Why do you think the average age of marriage is 32 in the United States? I think it just got raised to 33. Yes, you're going to have way less kids. Okay, part of girl bossing is when you say career women are right on par with mothers. They're not, and society should be glorifying one, not socially shaming the other, but you shouldn't give them the same elevation you give to mothers and matrons of families. That is pure covert feminism.
Okay, I'm going to answer.
Yeah, so this is a point. Andrew Wilson has talked about this before, that, men have a duty. It's pretty much an accepted, fact that men have a duty to society. And these days, it's not seen so much as women having a duty to bear children and, take a cook and clean and take care of the home and whatever. Now it's like, partly, at least to his argument, it's partly because of feminism, and probably, this is tied together, but the economy is fucked. I mean, most people can't afford to have a single earning household. It has to be two people fucking working to be able to fucking afford anything. But these women these people that promote, oh yeah, women, you can be a boss bitch and go out and fulfill your career and all that, girl. Nah, you a boss bitch. Go, all my women independent, throw your hands up at me, all that shit. So that is having an effect on the birth rate. There are more women that are putting off having children. I'm one to be critical, right? I'm a gay man. I'm over here playing with other men's orifices and stuff. And I'm telling women no, I'm not telling anybody how to do anything. I'm laying out the facts here. I'm having connection issues now. Am I choppy? MPTP77. Thank you, friend. Yeah, guys, please. I appreciate it. Please hit the like button. Help your boy out. Help this little twink out. Guys, remember, I don't want to scare off any Andrew Wilson's fans. I'm pretending to be gay because it helps for the views, and I can I can be critical of the LGBTQ community, and I can get away with it. I can also say the F word, and it's okay because I am one. I'm playing one. Anyway. Oh yeah. So anyway, yeah, fucking Andrew Wilson is saying these people that say women can do their career and whatever, and that's cool. You don't need to be a housewife. You don't need to be a mom. Girl, go get your career. Like that's definitely having an effect on the birth rate and this kind of thing. And women are not fulfilling their duty in society.
History with the following. I don't believe in the glorification, and especially I see it amongst Gen Zers, of not having children. I actually think it's disgraceful, and I don't think it's a flex at all to brag about not wanting to repopulate. It just shows me that you're so insecure that you're going to be a bad parent that you're not doing it. On the other hand, I'll ask you a question in return. Would you prefer a child growing up in a damaged family with a mother who clearly wasn't ready to raise a child and raise potentially what could be, a deranged child who grows up to be a serial killer or a murderer, or how about this, just a really bad person?
Hey, check out this lady's necklace. Free Palestine. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, guys.
Person, rather than wait a few more years until she's ready to have her kid and then raise a mensch. What do you prefer?
Well, so here's what we can see when we break this down. What we see when we break this down is the abuse happens in the public school, where you're 100 times more likely to be essayed than you are if you're in a Catholic church. We see that if it is the case that you're a single mother, you are a single mother, especially by choice, that is usually the selection of stepfather that leads to the abuse of the children. We also can see via the...
Guys, Bubba Army, we know this. We've seen these stories broken down on Bubba's channel, and I've played some of these on here too, where it is a lot of the time when it's a man that is abusing a child, a lot of these stories you hear of, it's like the you know, it's not the baby daddy. It's the mother got with some other guy who is not the child's father, and then that man abuses the child. I don't know if that is actually statistically represented in the, you know, crime data or some shit like that, but that is often what you see in a lot of those stories.
Stats that you're completely just insane here. You are actually, if you stay inside of a family where you mom and dad don't even like each other, your outcomes are still better than if you, the girl boss, goes, I just don't feel fulfilled. I don't feel fulfilled. And so I need to go and date the neighbor down the road or whatever, right? The truth is that regardless of your fulfillment, children are the duty. The next generation is the duty, and women have a duty to keep the family intact as well. They're responsible for most of the divorces. They file for the most amount of divorces, not because of abuse, but because of irreconcilable differences. And when asked, I don't feel fulfilled. And it's like, that's not how we run a society. It's literally a death sentence for our whole society. Look at what's going on in the UK. It's a death sentence for them.
Okay, let me bring in Stasia, who's been grimacing throughout that.
Oh, fuck, she has.
Stasia, why are you so outraged by what he's saying?
I'm not outraged. I just think that you all are fairly stupid. And everything that's being said is ridiculous. And it's just like a comedy show.
You think you can change your sex? How can you ever call anybody stupid? How can you ever call anybody stupid?
Yeah, she should sit that one out.
Hey, I'm just sitting back watching the shit show happen. I'm here for it.
All right, Julie.
I'm just on Uber Eats right now. I'm not even paying attention to you guys.
Well, hang on. I want to get Julie to respond to Andrew.
I'm doing a mukbang as soon as this interview's over.
Oh, I zoned out and I thought I'd woken up in the 1950s in some TARDIS. You can't take him seriously. It's ridiculous.
Oh, you mean in the 1950s? You mean the 1950s when we had intact families where 95% of women were
Oh, fuck. Here we go. Cook.
Married as virgins, where families weren't being broken up, where crime was extremely low, where you only needed one income to support an
Let him cook.
entire household, where mental illness was at an all-time low, like that 1950s. I'm sorry that I make a reference to a time.
Are you married? Are you married?
Yeah, married. How do you make married with many children?
Is your
How
wife
about
happy?
You married with children? Oh, she's ecstatic.
No, I'm 23. I'm a boss lady girl. It seems to be driving you crazy.
Yeah.
Working, making money,
I'm just pointing
waiting
out,
for the right guy to
the
come
only
along.
thing you have no arguments. You just try to assault me personally. You can try, but the truth is that I've reproduced. I am
How
married.
did I assault
do
you?
have
I
the
asked you if
life.
you're married.
No, you didn't. You were making a passive-aggressive
I mean, to be
feminist.
fair,
Wait, how did I assault
about
you?
how my wife must be
Andrew.
miserable.
Andrew,
Your wife must be miserable.
To be fair, Andrew is
She might
practicing
be.
what he preaches. I want to bring in another clip from a debate between Megyn Kelly and Matt Walsh on the similar thing.
I'm sensing a new cigarette getting lit very soon. I'm sensing it, guys. We gotta watch. We gotta watch him because he's gonna try to sneak it in here. We're gonna see how many he can smoke. He did number 3. We're looking for cigarette number 4.
Let's watch a little clip from this.
Again, having said that, I like the guy. I'm getting a little tired of his nonstop judgment of women who make different choices than the ones he wants us to make. Sorry, Matt, you're not our Jesus. We don't answer to you. Like, live your life the way you want to live it and stop judging everybody who makes a different choice. I'm sick of it.
Over feminist.
And she went on to say this about young men not wanting to marry career women. Let's take a listen to this.
We're now telling young, conservative, amazing women that they're not attractive if they also work. If they choose to, let's say, do what I'm doing and what you're doing, and like get their voice out there. But I'll stick with me just because I think conservatives listening to this will like the thought of another Megyn Kelly voice up and coming.
Now, Matt Walsh responded by saying
Chris,
men
can I
are
tell you the
generally not
beauty of all of
attracted
this?
to ambitious career. Well, hang on a minute. I want to read a clip from Matt Walsh, or a quote. He said, men are generally not attracted to ambitious, career-driven.
Andrew Wilson just exhaled some smoke. He better have not snuck a new cigarette while they played that clip. Don't be sneaking them on us, Andrew.
Women, and women's first priority should be children and looking after the home. So, Emily, what do you think of that? If you've ever felt like you're being watched online, it's unfortunately because you are. Hundreds of companies, so-called data brokers, watch and record everything you do.
Oh. Are you saying the FBI is watching my stream?
App redirects 100% of your online traffic through secure servers. No data brokers and no third.
Data brokers, if you're watching right now, please hit the like button and subscribe.
Showing on the screen. We'll go to expressvpn.com/
I think the beauty about free will is you
ExpressVPN.com. Go check out Piers Morgan's his advertisers. Go check them out. Go get a VPN.
make a choice who you want to spend your life with. Like, I know many men are okay with, a woman who works, and I know many men are not. And that's the great part, is you choose who you want to partner with. So if you
My fucking chair sucks. Do you guys think I could get Seth's old studio chair? You think they would do that? Isn't Seth didn't he just get an upgrade chair? You guys think they'll let me have Seth's old chair? Oh, this one doesn't recline or do nothing. This fucking chair sucks, man. It hurts my back. Oh my God, I have to do this 10 times per stream. Oh, it's good tricep workout. Oh.
you want a woman to be home and have 5, 6, 7, 8 children, which is a beautiful choice to make in life, then go for it. If you want a woman who can do both, work and have children when she's ready, 2 or 3 children, then go for that type of woman.
Wait, why am I seeing cigarette emojis? Did I miss one? Or are you just putting them in there for fun, Scott? Oh, join us, DMS. Smoke. You want me to start smoking cigarettes again? Guys, I'm telling you, as soon as I have time to get my ass to a tobacco store, I am buying a corncob pipe and some high-grade tobacco, organic if possible. And then it's a wrap. I'm going to be back to smoking proudly, but it's going to be good tobacco. And I'm not going to do it like I used to. Guys, I'm telling you, the pipe tobacco is just different. It's heavenly. It's not like the trash that Andrew Wilson's smoking. You know what? I make fun of Andrew Wilson smoking cigarettes. Nobody's perfect. I do love Andrew Wilson, but this is one thing. I would be proud to see Andrew Wilson switch from those fucking cowboy killers, whatever the fuck bullshit he smokes, switching from that to a fine pipe tobacco. I would be honored to see that. I'd be proud of our guy here.
If you want a woman who's never home and going to be, on the road all the time, and trust me, there are many beta men who would love that, then go for that. Like, nobody is forcing you to be with a woman that doesn't cater to your needs. The same way no one's forcing any women to be with a guy like Andrew Tate that's going to beat you and make you miserable. We have choices, and we need to make calculated, wise choices as to what personally is best for you.
The Andrew Tate fallacy, instantly moving over to Andrew Tate is evil and a representation of men who believe in a patriarchal system. Here's the truth. The truth of the matter is that we should be doing for society what is socially good for society. If we can't reproduce our society, that's a really bad social ill for society. When you have propaganda that is telling women to go get useless degrees.
Dude, this is I know some people say I start and stop too much. Look, guys, I'm actually trying to break this down and hammer some points home and not let people get away with slimy debate tactics. I actually think this woman, I'll go smaller here so you can see my mouse better. This woman here, I would love to listen to her and Andrew Wilson really spar on their opinions and their takes on feminism and trans people in sports and all this shit. I'd really like to see these two battle it out on a bunch of different subjects. Andrew Wilson's points about feminism's effect on the fertility rate and the birth rate and that kind of thing. This woman, I just have to say, I'm intrigued by her, and I think she's a smart woman. But the fact that she's just she's basically ducking Andrew Wilson here a little bit just by going, oh, well, you don't even have to take this seriously. I feel like I'm in the 1950s. That's not a response to an argument. I just, I know there's plenty of people that are already well aware of that, but I just want to really point that out, that I am intrigued by what she has to say. But unfortunately, I don't know. I mean, we've only got so many. We're already over halfway done with this debate. There's probably one more ad in here. It's just like, can we stop playing this game of like, oh, I don't even have to respond to that. It was so ridiculous. That's not an argument. Thank you, though.
For me
in
and my husband, it's not for society.
Yeah, that's great.
It's actually
I mean,
quite,
Andrew,
it's quite sad.
hang on. There's Andrew quickly. Is Megyn Kelly a covert feminist then? By your
Not covert,
criteria?
overt. She's an overt feminist. Covert's out for Megyn Kelly. Megyn Kelly came out and said women should be prioritizing career over family. That's what Matt Walsh's issue was with her. And he's absolutely right. The guy struck it out of the ballpark. Socially, in society, we should be moving women into a familial role. It's not to say that women can't work. Nobody's saying women can't work. We're just saying that if you're going to glorify things in society, it should be the mother in the intact home and the wife and the caretaker at home, not the girl boss. That's insane. And it's a societal death sentence. Walsh knows it. Everybody knows this at this point. If you can't reproduce your own nation, you don't have a nation.
Do you know how...
Okay, Julie, you wanted to jump in there.
I mean, do you know how insecure and pathetic you sound? You can't take you seriously.
Eat another donut,
I get
lady.
that I'll just finish.
You know, and some people might think that Andrew Wilson is being too harsh. I see what's coming here. Eat another donut, all this. I see what's coming, and because Andrew Wilson is feeling exactly what I was saying. This woman is not responding to any of the arguments. She's just going, oh, that's ridiculous. And when I point out how ridiculous it is with my British accent, it makes it sound even more ridiculous. And I just sound like I have too much dignity to even respond.
I get that you reckon that you're some big shock jock, and I know that you're desperately trying to be relevant, but you sound so insecure and so pathetic. You are
Do you have
irrelevant.
an argument? Can you put the Duncan down for a second and give me an argument? Do you have...
Thank you. Thank you. He finally said it. We need an argument, lady. Every response you've had is ad hominem bullshit.
An argument? Or is it just
Sorry, I
Andrew
haven't heard
bad?
one from you.
Yes, I've given you multiple arguments for the social fabric of all of society and how we can improve it, what we need to be doing, what we need to be moving towards. I gave you all the stats. I gave you argument after argument. Can you give me a single argument?
All the stats. You are the oracle. You know all about the universe and what's going to progress humankind. You're just a shock
It's
jock,
not
mate.
psychic ability.
You're just pathetic. Nobody's going to listen to you.
So, I was just going to say it. Still no argument, guys. Still no argument. We're not going to hear one.
You're an aggressive, insecure man.
I'm going to tell you what's going to happen.
We're not taking you seriously.
Well, this is going to go viral, and a lot of people are going to take me seriously, and all they're going to remember is that I told
this should go viral. It should. Andrew Wilson deserves it.
You that you couldn't put down the Dunkin' Donuts long enough to make an argument. Now, can you make one or not?
Oh, you know, this is schoolboy.
By the way,
tactic.
a real
It's
man
schoolboy.
doesn't speak down to a woman the way you do.
Oh my God. Here we go. Holy fuck. Andrew Wilson has officially triggered everyone on this panel. Holy fuck. Our hero.
You think
you're not a real man. You're actually very feminine if you ask me. You're a very feminine man.
And nobody cares what you think real man is.
You're pathetic, mate.
Yeah.
And how you think that you're such a big boy by slating, bringing in personal insults about women's appearance.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
They started it. Guys, Andrew Wilson was begging for a counter argument. Holy fuck. And these bitches, all they could do is say, oh, you're just, what year is it? 1950? Oh my God.
Oh, I feel for you when you go out into the big wide world from behind your macho.
Well, one day when I go out in the big wide
there.
world, I hope people will take me as seriously as they do women who make zero arguments.
Wait, why are you on Piers
like
Morgan? Shouldn't you go be working right now, making money for your family to support? How do you have time to come? I'm working. I don't have kids. I don't have a husband. I'm 23 years old. I'm not married with kids yet, but it seems like you should go be working right now to fulfill your gender role as a big, strong man.
I am working right now.
Oh, get to work.
Let me ask.
You're not being paid to be here.
Yes, lady. I'm going to get paid a lot of money ultimately to be here. You have no idea what you're talking about. If you saw my bank account, what I make doing stuff like this, it would make you weep.
Oh, show us your bank account to make yourself feel.
Andrew Wilson, let me say, guys, Andrew Wilson's fans do contribute money to him as well. They are very nice to him. And, you know, I've seen a few times where Andrew Wilson will go on someone else's show. He'll have he'll do a debate that's moderated on someone else's channel, and he will have his subscribers go subscribe to them and throw money at them in the super chats and all that shit. You know, Andrew Wilson has a loyal following and a very, you know, generous audience.
Feel more
make
secure.
You weep. Yeah, hey, the only thing you could think of was to try to assault my bank account, lady.
Assault?
That's it. That's the only thing you can think of. The only thing you can think of is you don't work enough. You don't work enough. It's ridiculous.
Let me play. I want to play Emily. I want to play Emily a clip. This has gone viral too. It's had 120 million views. There's a woman who suggests she's about to leave her husband because he doesn't do enough domestic chores. Let's take a look.
If you do not participate in an equitable way in your home, and so what does that look like? What does it look like to change these dynamics? Well, we need to really assess in our homes what the work looks like, because in most homes, the data supports this. Women do a disproportionate amount of the work. They just do. They do more of the cooking and the cleaning and the laundry and the childcare while also working full time. And men have more time for things like their hobbies, like golf, for example, or just working out, running a marathon, right? And so we need to have hard conversations about what our time looks like, what our labor in the home looks like, what is invisible labor. We have to talk about these things. And when we don't, the alternative is that you no longer have a marriage, or you don't have a happy one at least. And so I share this story because I don't think I'm alone in this experience. And I want people to know that there's hope, and that if you have a willing and able partner, you can change this. You can absolutely change this.
I mean, Emily, I would personally, I would travel continents to avoid a lady like that. But what's your view of what she's saying?
To me, her rant, take away the gender for a moment, because I actually believe women are a lot messier than men, just in terms of our makeup, our clothing, the abundance of clothing that we have. I think we definitely purchase more accessories than men. And I think we also, like I said, there are gender roles I believe in should be responsible for.
Cigarette number 4. We're at cigarette number 4 for the Andrew Wilson cigarette counter. I need cigarette emojis in the chat right fucking now. 50-minute debate. We're at 39 minutes, and he's lit cigarette number 4. Let's see if we can make it to cigarette number 5, guys. Let's see.
For most of the cleaning. Then on the other hand, if you're marrying a slob, A, you should know who you're getting into a household with. But
you think it's 5? You think he's already on 5? I don't know, man. I think he might have lit one during when they were playing one of the clips. But we're gonna be very fair about this. I only caught 4, and I'm not about to go watch back a second time. So we're at cigarette number 4. It's still a good rate for Andrew Wilson.
But B, if you're in a happy marriage and you have a sense of communication, why not just sit your partner down and be like, hey, I don't mind cleaning up after you, but when you throw your filthy socks on the bathroom sink or you leave your wet towel and we have mold, I'd appreciate if you cannot do this. But I don't think it gets to an extent where like divorce is justifiable unless your husband is like a hoarding pig that's unbearable to live with. I think she's being a little bit dramatic here. And we all can acknowledge women are a bit messier than men, and it should be just like looking after one another. It's not a big deal to clean up after your partner, and that could go both ways. Not everything is so black or white.
Andrew?
Well, first of all, stay-at-home moms are mostly nowadays parking their kids in public school for most of the day. Oftentimes, the kids are taking buses from the city to the school and buses home. They're not even driving them. Okay, not even driving them. And they have fully furnished lunch, even breakfast at most of these pubs.
Look at this bitch just getting pissed off. She's just like breathing heavier, scowling at the fucking camera.
Public schools, right? They don't even have to send them with a lunch anymore. They have all day to do household chores while men are working. Right? No, women do not do a disproportionate amount of work in comparison to men. That's absurd. No labor statistic supports that. Even if we were to take household chores and put it on the table against a man's work, doesn't even come close, even with children, especially because you're parking them most of the time in a public school for most of the day. This lady who's making this TikTok, totally insane, completely disconnected from reality, has no idea how this actually works.
She's not totally
Julie,
insane. You're going to make a choice to marry a girl who's going to cook and clean and do everything. And me as a woman, I'm going to make a choice to hire a housekeeper one day so that I don't have to cook and clean because that's my choice. The problem is you're too obsessed with other people's choices. Live and let live. Like, take a step back and recognize not everyone has to be as extreme as you are. Like, yes, women
live and let live
until
it comes to the transgenders.
If they're not perfect.
That's exactly what I'm saying. It's
I
crazy.
do live and let live.
Till it comes to the transgenders.
I don't care if you're transgender. I don't care if you're transgender.
I don't understand.
Go for it. I'm not marrying a transgender.
Let them go play their
sports. Let them live and let live. Absolutely.
Live and let live. You people contradict yourselves so much.
That's their
it's
superiority.
Yeah,
no, I think you're just
stupid
because
right
I'm
now.
Explaining myself and making sense.
The explanation makes no sense.
Transgender,
I saw
should live
Stacia
and let
wanting.
live. They should not participate in sports.
Let's let Stacia talk. Stacia, you wanted to say something?
You're just all walking contradictions. It's crazy that you can even say something like that. You guys are all fighting with each other about live and let live, and we're having an entire conversation about trans people and their ability or lack of ability to be in sports. So it's wild to watch him with the cigarette, like think he's all pompous, and you over there acting like it's just ridiculous.
Hey, I'm the only one here who's consistent. I said I don't care if you people go in and beat the tar out of women. I don't care. Go do it. They voted for it. I think they need a taste of their own medicine. I think it's good for them. And maybe some of this madness will stop if they actually have to take accountability and deal with the consequences of their own voting.
So this is really funny. It would be pathetic if it weren't, entertaining to an extent. How Andrew Wilson, well, I guess she has given, she's explained her position quite a bit, and she went back and forth with Andrew. But these two bitches are just, I don't get it. I honestly don't get it. How is this like, are you promoting yourself by going on Piers Morgan's show and then not really giving counter arguments? All you're doing is just clutching your pearls every time Andrew Wilson speaks. That's like, you think that's you. Why even go on Piers Morgan's show if you're not ready with 100 fucking counter arguments to debate about this? Why are you even here? I'm actually like confused. I mean, if you want to just be Andrew Wilson's punching bag, I'm here for that all fucking day. But I just don't see what's in it for you.
You're in
Stop.
your
I want to make it very
Ju-
clear. I don't care that you're transgender. I genuinely don't care if today you're a woman, tomorrow you're a man, the next day you want to identify as a cat or a dog. I really don't. Like, it's not my issue. But when you make it my issue, when you want to play in my sport, I was a tennis player my whole life. If a man came along who identified as a woman, who I will respect as a woman, I will respect your pronouns, but you want to now eradicate women's sports, now it's my problem too. As long as it's not my problem and you will do you, live. Exactly. Thank you.
Just live and let live, man. We'll just be hippies and
Okay, let me
together
ask.
until
I
it
want to
affects
end by
you.
asking Julie. Okay, I want to end by asking Julie, because Julie, you've been talking about feminism for decades. We're now in a place, a strange place, I think, where women have more freedom to do all the things that maybe previous generations of women did not have freedom to do. And many, including me, actually think that's a very good step forward. The only downside to this is that birth rates around the world are beginning to plummet to dangerously low.
Let's see, guys. Let's see if this fucking bitch will respond to Piers Morgan making Andrew Wilson's point for him. Okay? This fucking lady won't respond to Andrew Wilson's point about the birth rate because, she's just got too much dignity and it's just a shock jock. You don't have to take him seriously. Well, what about when fucking Piers Morgan asked you the same question in your same stupid fucking British accent? Are you going to find some way to dodge it again? Let's see, guys. This is a real nail biter.
Low levels. And Elon Musk keeps warning that if they carry on like this, it's going to be a very, very serious problem for the future of the planet. So let me just ask you, Julie, when you look at the progress that feminism has made, you can see so many ways that women's rights have been promoted in a better way. But are you concerned about the dropping birth rates and the fact that women no longer, because so many more are going out to work and everything else and prioritizing work perhaps over family, that birth rates ultimately are obviously going to reduce, and that ultimately that could be a very self-defeating thing for the planet?
We need to pay attention to the fact that many women, when they have children, have no support, no childcare, feckless fathers who leave if they're there in the first place, where there is very little maternity leave, hardly any financial security, particularly if that woman is in an abusive relationship.
We're going to listen to what she has to say, but I'm getting a sneaking suspicion just by the way she started her answer that this is just another way of dodging the question again, guys. And Piers Morgan directly asked her, hey, he didn't cite Andrew Wilson, but he said, hey, what about the declining birth rate? You're saying empower women. Women, go to work and pursue a career if you want. Don't worry about kids till, it's almost too late in your 30s. That's okay. So encouraging that is making the birth rate go down. How do you respond to that? Feminist lady, Julie, whatever your fucking name is. Oh, well, we shouldn't pay attention to that. What you should pay attention to is how men aren't paying child support.
And can't rely on that second wage coming into the home. So have a look at what will make it more attractive and feasible for women to have babies. And also have a look at the women who are choosing not to have babies because they don't want to be hitched to and trapped with a man who, quite frankly, isn't the love of her life because of his behavior and because of his shortcomings. That's what we need to be doing.
Okay,
Can I add
Stacey, I
something
want
too
to
that I
ask you a
think is
final
important
question.
here that you haven't
Yeah,
mentioned?
Emily, I'll come to you and Andrew for final word in a minute. But Stacey, it just struck me as a question I wanted to ask you. How do you feel about drug cheats in sport?
So I guess in a roundabout way, she did respond, but sort of like indirectly. She said, "Oh well, it's men's fault because the woman didn't fall in love with you, so she wants to, she wants to just do her own thing." And so you're men are just men are such nasty little creatures that women don't want to marry them and settle down and have kids.
And when people are caught doping to enhance their performance, how do you feel about that?
Obviously, you know how I feel about that. You're baiting me to twist this around on the trans issue. And
I've no idea how you feel about it. I've never asked you. I've never asked you before. How do you feel about it?
Obviously, I'm not in support of people taking drug enhancements to do better in sports.
But why? Why are you not in support of that? Given it just gives them an unfair advantage, which you want for trans athletes. What's the difference?
I see exactly what they're trying to do, and I'm not walking into it. It's very clear where my stance is with trans people. I don't support. I just think that you're trying to walk me into something, and it's not going to work for me.
She does not do a lot of walking, and we can tell just by the shape of her face. Now, unfortunately, lady, you're on Piers Morgan show, and he asked you a direct question. So I know this probably works really well in the standard conversations that other people are unfortunate enough to have with you in polite society, okay? You can just pull one of these cards and avoid answering any question, but you're on a fucking talk show on a panel to answer some of these questions and tease some of this apart. Thanks for nothing.
So you don't support the enhancement of performance through illegal drugs. Okay, that's good. We're halfway there, I think. Emily.
Yeah.
Piers, I just want to bring up a point that, and personally, I don't know the stats. I'd be very curious into looking into it, but I think it would be remiss to not mention the fact that many, many women, personally, I know a bunch, but I want to see the stats on it, are trying to have kids that are doing rounds of IVF, spending all of their money that they've saved up trying to have a kid, are infertile, are having miscarriages, never got their period. I think we also have a really serious health crisis going on, at least in the United States. I can't speak about the UK, that Bobby Kennedy is very well aware of, about hormones in the foods that are making it a lot harder for women to have children, because I know many, many women who would love to have a big, beautiful family, but can't even conceive their first child. So I don't know if it's necessarily everyone making a decision to not have kids, rather a health problem. And I'd advise.
The way this lady is looking around like this, and I don't want to pretend I'm a psychologist or something, but I almost feel like she's personally affected by what this lady's talking about. This whole time, this turf lady, Julie, is that her name? I don't care. Anyway, the whole time she's been glaring right into the camera, and then right when this woman starts talking about, well, some women have problems with fertility and they go through all this trouble to try to have a kid and they can't have a kid. And she, to me, looked kind of a little bit triggered. I don't know.
Everyone to look into that too.
It's totally absurd. So first of all, it's the reason they need IVF and things like this because they defer families till they're in their 30s, right? It's not healthy for women to start having babies in their 30s.
No,
not a great idea.
not
Yes.
true.
Yeah. Not only is it true,
I have
but
a 24-year-old friend who can't get pregnant.
I can statistically prove it. The exception doesn't make the rule. The truth of the matter is, you can even look at infant mortality rates. And in the United States, we have some of the highest in the world. And that is correlated directly to the fact that women.
You're wrong because of my anecdote.
Are aged out of their 20s when they're having children. You can even see this in other nations as well. Back over to the TERF's argument, she says, well, wait a second. We should really be deferring to women and incentivizing women for more stuff that women want. We do this all the time. We defer to everything that is that they want. By the way, you have free tuition. You do get all sorts of free healthcare. And by the way, it's the poor people who have the most amount of children, not the middle class or the rich who do family planning. So this idea that you're just going to give the idea that you're just going to give women money and that's going, or some type of support in this way, and that's going to be what moves them towards children, is not true. Usually it's things like religion, religiosity, your key component to traditionalism, your idea of community has nothing to do with family leave. It has nothing to do with that. Never has. The birth rate's been dropping like this, like a rock, especially since the 1900s, right? But even in the 1800s. But now, since birth control especially, and women's liberation, the sexual revolution, it has dropped so drastically, we can't even reproduce the population. These aren't answers. You're not answering any problems. None.
It's just because of men like you.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Women
men
do
because of
this
men like me. I know. It's men like me.
It's like-
The ones who actually
Yep.
reproduce. It's because of men like me who actually reproduce. I get it. That makes sense.
So what do you
Yeah.
suggest? Should women
I
just
think-
start like
Can
walking around
Can you
getting knocked up?
reproduce? Do you
Like,
do
I'm
you even
so
have a
confused.
uterus to reproduce? Do you even have a uterus to reproduce? But anyway, what were you saying? I'm sorry.
No, I just don't understand. What do you think is a solution? Women should just like kind of settle in their young 20s and just start popping out babies, even if they haven't
No, that's
necessarily
exactly
met someone that's
what
compatible
Oh,
for them yet, or
I
vice
thought you were in
versa.
an antinatalist
Yeah.
language, popping out babies. Oh, there's slave to the stove, popping out babies. No, I think that from a societal view, we can
I don't
have
do
pro-
the language.
we can have
that
I've got to
pronatal.
go.
I'm
I'm
answering
really
your
late.
question.
I've got to go.
I'm answering your
Sorry,
question.
everyone.
All
I've
right,
got to
listen.
go.
You know what, Julie? Everyone's going to go because we've reached the end of the panel. The only sadness for me is we can't all go and have a drink together because I think we'd all get on great over a few pints in a nice English pub. But maybe we'll leave that little treat for another time. Thank you all very much indeed for joining Uncensored.
Damn. They kind of got fucking wrecked, man. That was messy. That was really fucking messy, man. I didn't expect it to be like that, pulling teeth to get some counter arguments out of those goddamn feminists. Holy shit. I mean, like, I'm truly, I've seen Andrew Wilson debate different people on this, and Andrew Wilson is just such a fierce debater, and I've talked about this before, like with Christopher Hitchens, where sometimes Christopher Hitchens just had so much style and grace and just, he was just such a good debater that sometimes he wouldn't be right, but he would still win the debate. I don't know if it's so much like that with Andrew Wilson, but Andrew Wilson does seem to just fucking lay waste to the fucking people he debates. Now, again, though, I'm not even like, I feel like Andrew Wilson makes some good points, and this is one thing that I feel like it's a really easy talking point to argue against the LGBTQ community, and that would be the declining birth rate. You don't have to be someone that's actually like homophobic to say, hey, maybe it's not a good thing for a society to encourage people to be homosexuals, because that just causes, the birth rate to go down. That means less human flourishing. So it's a real simple equation. If you desire human flourishing and our species to continue into the future, well, then how about not encouraging homosexuality? Or you don't care? Well, then encourage homosexuality and everybody can just do whatever the fuck they want. But I would have liked to have seen the turf have it out with Andrew Wilson, like really point for point with arguments, not ad hominem bullshit. So anyway, that was fun, but I really had hopes for a good debate, seeing Andrew Wilson challenge, but it didn't happen. It didn't happen. So yeah, guys, let me show you. Let me get to the podcast before I go. Am I signed in? Yeah, I'm signed in. Okay. Let me bring you guys over to this tab with me. If you haven't already, I mentioned it at the beginning of the stream, but if you haven't already, please go check out the Dark Match Steve show on the Bubba Army podcast. So you go to Spotify or Apple or fucking iHeartRadio, wherever the fuck you get your podcasts. They probably have the Bubba Army podcast. And then scroll down. The latest one they released is this, I guess, Tidbits. There's Bubba Uncensored. But down here, this is my brand new episode 3 of the Dark Match Steve show. Is a wild ride with twists and turns. We start the show with an old banger parody track, then a smooth glory hole transition into my parody songs possibly being stolen. Oh, shit. I meant to, yeah. After that, we have a climactic finish breaking down clips from my stream when YouTube made me take the hate speech policy training. Buckle up! So this is a good one, guys. This is a good one. If you remember on my stream here, we had it mentioned. Someone brought up to me that one of my parody songs might have been stolen, and it may have been stolen by somebody within the Bubba Army. So I did all my fucking research for this. I found the song. Remember, I couldn't find their version. I ended up finding their parody song. And so we're breaking all that down on the latest podcast. You got to go figure out, you got to see what the fuck happened. Scooter Going, what's up, bro? Thanks for joining us. Have you seen how a lot of this species acts? FML, yeah. We live in crazy times. It's crazy out there. In my opinion, I think people are born that way, not a choice. What do you mean, being trans? I don't think it's necessarily a trans or I don't think it's necessarily a choice to be trans. I don't think I'm saying that. I do think with some, so this is the thing. I just think that there's so many factors, and cultural is one. So, I mean, I guess you could argue on some level it is like, I don't mean it's a choice, like someone just goes, oh, I just feel like being trans. Like there's some people that may be taking advantage of the system in some ways by doing that, whether it's like for social gratification, clout type of thing. I mean, there are some people that are that crazy that they'll do that because they want attention. I don't think that that's the majority of people. What I think it is that there's just so many factors in the world that contribute to people leaning towards being trans, whether it's the shit in the fucking water, fucking atrazine, the xenoestrogens and stuff that's in all of the fucking food, the plastic particles and all of that shit that are, it seems, at least there's data to prove that it's feminizing boys. So, I mean, I think there's just so many factors, but when you throw on top of that, you have all these factors where it's the xenoestrogens, all the shit I just mentioned, and the chemicals and bullshit that is like leaning men towards being feminized. And then you, on top of that, you have people that encourage it. I mean, I think that leads to problems. I think that only, makes the issue worse. So is there a choice aspect of it? I think the choice, is more on the level of society, that it's sort of choosing to let this happen, and and the people that are encouraging it, not just being complacent, but actually encouraging it. So anyway, guys, go, please go. Do I need can I put the thing in, let me see. I'll put the link in chat, I guess. I think I can, let me, okay. It's the liberals pushing transgenderism on kids, bro. Yeah, that is a factor. That's what I'm saying. That is a factor. I just don't think that that's like the main thing to blame. I feel like it would be, if you look at society from, just think back, the early 1900s, like they were referencing the 1950s in the debate we just watched. Guys, there's no way. I don't see any amount of encouragement from the culture and from the institutions, be it the teachers and whatever. I don't see it being possible to have the rates of transgenderism in the early 1900s anywhere near what we have today, just on culture alone. I think you need the pharmaceutical help with that. The pharmaceutical impact, the drugs, the xenoestrogens, the fucking plastic particles, all that bullshit. That, I think, brings it full circle and makes it something that you can put a little pressure here and a little pressure there, and then it's just like, whoops, the birth rate's fucked. Oh yeah, I was putting this in the chat. Hold on. All right, guys, here is the link, if that worked. That's the link. You can click that directly to go to the my episode 3 of the Dark Match Steve show. So go check that out. Please at least give it a click. I do want them to keep me around. I do want to, collaborate more with the Bubba Army. I don't know where exactly this is going to lead. If it's just podcasts, that's okay, whatever. But yeah, guys, we'll see where this goes. Please help me with the clicks, getting the numbers and stuff. I heard I was mentioned on the show today. I have not heard that part yet. I've been so fucking busy. But yeah, I got to work at about 9 o'clock, so I missed the last hour of the show, which I'm assuming is when it was brought up. So anyway, I'm going to go. Maybe we'll listen to that on the show tomorrow, break that down. I don't fucking know. But anyway, lovers, thank you guys for the support. As you can see, I got a new Alex Jones sample in here to play when we're feeling it.
This is absolutely lit. This is lit, 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 lit. This is absolutely lit. This is lit, 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 lit.
All right, lovers, I'm going to get the fuck out of here. I got a parody song to finish up where I recorded everything. Just got to edit and put in the samples and everything. So I should be done tonight. Should be hearing a new parody song this week on The Bubba Show. So look out for that. All right, lovers. Thank you all. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Hit it on the way out. And if you do want to throw a few dollars my way, which is very appreciated, you can do that at PayPal. I'm Darkmatch, DARKMATCH. And on the Venmo, I am Darkmatch Steve, DARKMATCHSTEVE. So I'll see you guys tomorrow night. I should be on at 8 after Stein. We're going to be Bubba Army chat in the morning, 6 to 10. I'll be in the chat at least from like 6:30 to like 9. Then we're in Scott Starbird's chat, Scott Starbird stream. You got to subscribe to that. I'll be in there hanging from, and this is Eastern time, I'll be hanging from 6 to 7 in Scott's chat. And then fucking Stein goes on 8 o'clock or 7 Eastern time. Going to be in Alex Stein's Pimp on a Blimp chat. And then it's my show again at 8 o'clock tomorrow. So that's our lineup. Join the club. I'll see you there, lovers. Thank you for the support. I'm honored. See ya.